Hi, welcome to StoryHive On Location, Vernon. I'm Robb, and we're live in Vernon with another incredibly inspiring episode brought to you by TELUS STORYHIve. Today we're speaking with Ashley Tyrian, an incredibly talented painter and horse trainer, and amongst other things that I'm learning and meeting her. And we're going to dive into her story, her history, and her beautiful artwork. Ashley,
Thank you.
Thank you for having me and sitting down talking. Let's dive in with where you're from and how you got into painting.
Where I'm from, well, I was a bit of a gypsy growing up, but I landed in the Okanagan 14 years ago. And I mean, I've always been in the North Okanagan, but Lumbee is my home. And I've been painting since I was a kid. I started drawing and tracing like anime and like Disney movies, and then just doing it like freestyle and layering them together. And Legend of Zelda just changed my life. I mean, I've got the Hylian shield on me, and yeah, that just inspired everything, and art was always an outlet for me. I had a challenging childhood, and I'll just leave it at that, but that was character building, the art, something that I always was good at, even though things were tough, and connecting with people. I was a bit of a bedroom artist, so if I had a close friend, I'd be like, hey, what do you think of this? And just getting them to think or give me ideas is kind of what snowballed everything.
I love that. So, funny, I have not heard an artist yet say anime or video games were their inspiration to get into it. So that makes me super happy to hear.
That's above Disney, by the way.
Yeah, right? Because like, I love Link and I love Zelda. So the fact that that was
You've been getting
one of the things,
goosebumps
right?
when you
Like,
say it.
the thing is like, that is a cool art style to dive into. Like,
yeah, and it was like the pinnacle of video games back then, right? Like that free roam, and as a horse girl who didn't grow up with horses, riding around on an Epona and shooting bows, like living my life. Like I loved it, and I always said one day I want that. And when I moved to the Okanagan, I didn't have horses full time, and I went for a hike in Cal, and I was like, I'm gonna ride horses here one day. And now I have two of my own babies who have their own crazy story as well, and I'm gonna take them to Cal this summer.
That's so cool. With artwork, diving into anime, were there specific shows or styles that you were drawn to when you started?
All of Studio
Ghibli.
I know, I always want to say it wrong. Just that whole line, every single movie, the emotion that was portrayed, like those were hand sketched, and the rendition and just everything. It's just the flow, the feeling. It's simple palettes, but it's not the texture, the contrast. Like it always just inspired me, and it kind of translated to nature too. Like I find inspiration in anime, but I find it in a stalk of corn. I love the textures that are available and just kind of making you look more.
I love that, especially with like Studio Ghibli is a very unique style of anime because I like to say anime has those jagged corners, a lot of jagged corners, their chins, their elbows, everything is very like defined perfectly.
You know it's their studio when you see any of their art, even if you're not sure.
They use a lot of rounded shapes, and that's what I love. Like Totoro himself is very like round, you know what I mean? Or Ponyo, the way as she evolves from the fish to the human, there's a roundedness about the artwork, and that's where I've always loved that, and they're really calming. So it's kind of soothing to hear that that's one of the styles that you started with.
I think it surprises a lot of people when I say that, because I might come across as like a landscape artist or just like straight traditional or illustrative, but a lot of my inspiration and foundational drawing comes from anime.
That's so cool.
Because it's quite technical. Like even though it's simple, it's technical and it's very specific, and every line is thought about.
It's definitely a beautiful style, and anime itself is a very unique art form that is, I love the fact that it's blowing up now. But
yeah, it's on trend.
Yeah, but when we were growing up, it wasn't very like, to find a good anime was actually quite difficult because
it's true, and I'm still a little picky.
Yeah, I'm definitely picky when it comes to anime, and that's one thing I'm like, I can actually say I'm not a huge anime fan other than Studio Ghibli's because I haven't found ones that I am drawn to, but I think that
it's hard to trump them.
Yeah.
And it's like Lord of the Rings for me. Like I love Lord of the Rings, But when you ask about other fantasy, I'm like, I didn't bother with anything else because like, how do you get better than that?
Yeah, it's true. When you're drawing and you started initially, what was the point where you went from pen and like drawing and doodling? Oh, hello.
Oh, it's Ben. So this is Big Ben.
Big Ben.
I knew he was going to make an appearance. Sir Benjamin.
That's awesome.
He's so handsome.
When you started off, what was the defining point that made you go from pen to brush? Because that's a hard transition.
Honestly, I'm not sure what came first.
Okay.
I started painting around the same time I started drawing. My uncle was really sweet, and remember those tiles that you could change in the roof?
Yeah.
He did my room in that, and when I was a kid, and I just started painting them without asking, and he was like, oh, okay. And then they just started buying other stacks, and yeah, I think it was a bit of both. I had to do probably drawing first, because paint was an expense. I remember that was something. And that's why I don't do a lot of textured paintings. I grew up like you use every bit of paint. You don't do any texture or leave lumps. But yeah, I guess drawing is always like the foundation.
Drawing is a beautiful one. I've tried to dive into that art form. We were talking before on camera where I'm musically gifted. I'm not like, this always boggles my mind that someone can take a blank canvas and make a picture of it. I don't fully understand that comprehension and that concept, so I love speaking with creatives and artisans who can, because for me it's always trying to like pick their brain as to how they can do it and how I could learn how to do it.
And my favorite thing, like with what you said, is a lot of people say that, and I'm not an artist, I'm not creative, but when I've sat down with a group or a private lesson and I show you different approaches, there's no right or wrong like with art, and I don't like how there can be an academic lens on it.
Yeah.
It's you. It's your creation. It's your feeling. If I show you different ways to do a wash, a contrast, texture, the ways you can layer with acrylic and oil, it becomes you immediately, like even if it's just the background. And watching someone develop the confidence, literally stroke for stroke, and their eyes lighting up, you know, they made that, and it wasn't me. I just gave them the tools.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people sitting down at a table with an easel, they're going to be like, oh, this is so scary. It's like the limelight, but at the same time, make those mistakes. Like your first painting, your first drawing, your first step, your first surf, like your first anything isn't going to be perfect. And that's why I've even learned now, like 20 years later, not to age myself or anything, you know, now I know why there's artists that do the same subject a few times, because you learn something the first, the third, it changes, it affects everything. And I love making mistakes now. I've never said that before. I love it in any facet. Learning to drive a trailer with that cater, you know, like make a couple mistakes without breaking anything is fine, but you know, having the integrity to be honest with yourself, like I made a mistake, I'm gonna try it again. Like don't beat yourself up over it. And
Yeah. Failure is a beautiful thing.
it really is. I've failed a lot. I've failed many different facets with like business or work, but it all comes back to me just honoring like my happiness and what works for me. And as long as you learn something or two from those failures, they're not really a failure. It's if you keep making the same mistake, it's like, okay, take a step back, whether it's art or driving.
Well, that's why I love art, because even if you make that mistake, you're still able to oh, don't be sorry. I love animals. This is inevitable when you love animals,
Especially when you wear black.
Yeah. But with painting, you can clean up any mistake you have, and I think that's one thing I'm really hard on myself with, is like
acrylic is very forgiving, you know, and that's actually, it's not my favorite because it dries so fast. There are mediums that can extend the open time and you can come back and work with it. But that's why I love acrylic for beginners, you know. Okay, just forget this area for a moment, move on to where you're happy, and you can come back later. Whereas like oil, kind of have a calculation, right? It's gonna be wet for a while. I don't know.
Days.
Yeah, like, you know, like a cat might walk past it and rub it. You got to be very mindful of like its rest even.
Yep.
But yeah, art is forgiving and not. It just depends on the lens, and that's what I love about art and horses. It just kind of makes you take a step back and, am I approaching this with like the right intention? Am I being hard on myself? That's a, you know, crux that I've navigated because I'm so hard on myself. Art isn't fun sometimes because I'm like, I have to be perfect. I do have OCD with, you know, doing well and like doing better, and I audit everything that I do maybe too much, and that's what I've really let go the past year specifically. Like the moose painting, I don't know if anyone's going to see it yet, but it will be released soon. The sky on it, I just told myself to let it go.
I love it.
Thank you, because there's a part of me that's like, keep going, keep going. If it was oil, I could have went differently, but you know what? Don't stress about something that organically ended up like that. And it taught me a lot for my next palette that way.
Does your palette change as you work on different pieces, like your color taste?
Yeah, so that one specifically, I had a different layout and color scheme planned, and it just kind of evolved into it's something else, and that's what I mean. I was like, you know what, let it go. Because I don't usually post progress pics on my Insta.
Okay.
And I should, because people love, like I mentioned earlier, they love seeing the development, and maybe it went somewhere they didn't expect. But they actually had input on this one.
Okay.
I took input, and again, letting go and not being a control freak. And it came around, and I'm actually usually painting's kind of volatile on the way, like, you know, roller coaster. I love it, I hate it, I love it, I hate it. This is the first painting and the money cat that I've loved the progress the whole time.
I love that.
And it's interesting that they've fallen into the timeline of where I just told you, I'm like, I'm just gonna let it go and not stress. And I'm at a place where I can enjoy doing art instead of doing something for a commission where there's a timeline, a subject, you know, very specific. And I love doing custom, but there's something about that journey that is my favorite. So
just being free.
Yeah, I love doing commissions, but like I told you earlier, I have 6 or 7 half-finished paintings that are my stuff that like I never did before because of time, and commissions are just volume output. Now I've sat down the past like 6 months and I've taken the time to pull my ideas out of my brain, sketch them up, write what color palette I want, take the time and custom mix those palettes for like an hour before I actually sit down. And now I'm like, okay, you don't have to stress so much about live mixing. Getting a grip on what ADHD is to me has also changed my approach with art. Not putting the pressure on and driving in 5th gear essentially, and just enjoying it, enjoy the ride.
I find that it's a very common thing with us creatives is ADHD flows really hard with us, and we can't got 1,000,001 either hobbies or things on the go.
7 paintings and 6 horses.
Yeah, and it's like,
and more on the way.
Right, and how do you take time to focus on yourself in those moments? And that's where it's like, I think creatives this is where we're really hard on ourselves. Like we're really hard on ourselves, not mentally and physically, just because of the way we take care of ourselves, but the way we look at our art and ourselves is very harsh. We tend to be our worst critics.
Yeah, I'm my biggest critic. I think I do beat myself up too much sometimes because I don't want to say I've lost the fun in art. That's not true. It's just I have a lot of people looking now, and it's not like letting them down, but I also don't want to surprise them, or I don't know. I just always have this like little voice in the back of my head that's like, you can do better.
I always feel like there's a lot of artists will say that where they don't want to like let their fan base down or change it up too much to cause shock. And then I always just picture Salvador Dali. He had no care what he did.
So love that you brought him up. That's one of my inspirations as a child, and the 6 paintings that I've kind of mentioned would be around that. Surrealistic but realistic. My own color palette, my own thoughts. They do have more meaning behind them where it's going to create a conversation, and that's what I want. And what I've loved, even if I've done something simple where it's like lily pads on a pond and people note something else, and I was like, oh, I guess I see that. Like, that's what I love about art. It could be something so simple, but your eyes see something else, even though I might have not even put that there. So that is my favorite connection point with people.
I think that's what makes art so beautiful at the end of the day, realistically, is that Like if you took a step outside of the spectrum and look at what art truly is, and it's like you're putting colors on a canvas, and that canvas and those colors evoke emotions in people to a point where they want it in their house. They want to put it on their wall and stare at it every day.
Right.
That is a weird concept.
And that's what I love, the double concept with art. You know, like I said, we can have a conversation, or we can just look at it and feel something with no words.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And maybe like revisit the feeling with words later. But paintings that I've done that are literally just palettes of color with no lines. Abstract is something not usually that I do, but there's a few out there that it's a blur. And they make people feel good. And I don't even have words for those ones, because they were just a feeling and a chapter in my life. And it was something that was my first step of like, I'm going to do something that doesn't make sense. And they sold immediately.
See, and I love that, because abstract is one that it took me a long time to fully comprehend what it was. For me, for a long time, I was guilty of being like, it's just somebody throwing paint onto a canvas and selling it for lots of money. And then I sat down with Fiona Neal a couple years ago, and she's one of Kelowna's top abstract painters. And she does these giant canvases where she's using her whole body to paint them, and we got to watch it.
Oh,
And I was like,
see that live.
In that moment, I was like, I get it. She's putting her whole body, her emotions, everything is going with her, and it's just flow. And then it was like, I get it now.
And you watching the kinetic movement while you're experiencing the blend.
Like,
like even that I
the
mentioned
thought,
earlier.
the thought, it gives me goosebumps, because it genuinely changed my perspective on art,
Yeah.
and I needed that. And it was like 28 years or so of like, abstract art makes no sense and I don't like it. And then one day I was just like, I absolutely love abstract.
I didn't expect that part with art. Like when I started painting at festivals, just, you know, by the water, minding my own business, I went from that to painting in front of like hundreds of people at music festivals, and just the same, like the comments, the feeling. Non-artists, you are an artist, but people who haven't developed their art skills and they're living that kinetic, watching it come to life is something I just didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost chase that now. I love it. When I travel, I'll just pull out on a roadside and start painting, or, you know, like just take a break, and people pull over because they just want to empty their garbage, and they're like, okay. And I've sold a couple that way, and it's because it's a memory, right? Like it's something you felt, you experienced it, and I hope that inspires people to just draw, do it, go home and paint.
I love that.
Get a white and black tube and just do something contrasty.
Do you find that the transition from abstract to like the surrealism, realism that you're doing now, do you think you'd ever step back and touch base on abstract again?
Honestly, I think there's a lot that I do that I don't post that is that, and it's either me warming up or just kind of letting my head go. The only time my brain is quiet is when there's brush on canvas or I'm in the saddle. So I just kind of make it like a more primitive approach when it's just me. Like I'm trying to take that pressure off lately, and it's like, just do what you want to do. Like these guys.
Yeah, they're doing what they do.
I love it. Speak your mind. But yeah, I'm trying to really just take the pressure off, because I'm not going to enjoy these moments and connecting with people if I'm just too OCD on being perfect. I want the connection. I want people to see that I make mistakes. There's a couple TikTok streams that I dabbled in earlier this year where I did make a mistake, and then I went back and just whited it out, and people were like, whoa, why were you doing that? And I'm like, that was a personal choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm glad you like that part now. Now I regret it. Like, you know, like just the conversation of like, okay, you didn't expect that. Yeah.
Do you find that painting in front of people is more enjoyable or more intimidating?
I would rather do that than sit down and chat. No offense, I love this opportunity. Totally. But it would be easier for me to explain what I do by just showing you. Mm-hmm. And again, like, thank you for the opportunity to make me use my words. Because I am guilty of when people say, what kind of art do you do? I just whip my phone out. Because I'm not really sure. Even when I say surrealism or neo-traditional, some people might not know what that means. So to put it simply, high contrast, vivid, illustrative, realistic, slightly surrealistic. See, it just turns into word vomit.
You're just an artist.
It's yeah,
right? Because you can't really pinpoint what you're going to do if you do multiple styles, right?
Yeah.
You're not just a landscape artist. You're not just an animal artist. Like, you dive into so many different facets within the paint industry alone.
Yeah, definitely develop my style.
Mm-hmm.
So like we kind of touched base on that, where I was kind of, being a slave to the game and doing nice landscapes and commissions, and people coming up with random word vomit and being like, make this for me, and I'm like, love it. I've had people I don't even know come up with like, hey, can you do a punk rock giraffe with like a sunset brick melting background?
Love it.
Okay.
That's
Got
so cool.
you. And I did it, and people will see that and be like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, commission, I don't know, love it. I nailed it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to develop my style, which would be the word salad I just gave you, of kind of high contrast, vivid, nature colors, but not, yeah.
Because I'm looking at that, maybe Amy can grab it. The
money cat?
The money cat or the moose, because they're both absolutely
They could both
incredible.
make a feature. They each have a story. Like this purple one has its own story, but these two are like new era, Ashley.
I love it because it is very, thank you. They're very uniquely done, and I love them. But how long would that take you, realistically?
That's probably about, like, honestly, without paint pouring, like an hour and a half.
See, it amazes me how quick you guys can do it.
And this is just like foundational to me, like, thank you. But he's actually going to be gold. A part of me wants to leave him chrome, but
Okay.
the twist with this is I was going to record this on time lapse too, do his contrast foundation and then come in with a glaze. And then all of a sudden he's gold, and I'm not really actually doing gold because the foundation of shading is there. And you can go in with some highlights after. I do want him to shine a bit.
That's so cool.
But the background I kind of wanted to leave fairly neutral, even though it's green. I might even mute it more, like kind of like, more darkness so he pops.
Okay.
But at the same time have these cherry blossoms flow either behind him and in front of him. Like I want the wispies behind him blended with the background while,
Love
that
it.
makes sense.
I love seeing the burn in your brain firing.
You can see,
on.
I'm trying to
I can see the
communicate.
passion burning there.
Trying my best to communicate
I'm
words.
just going to put this right here quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
So we don't lose it. But when you're diving into pieces like that, and you say it takes about an hour and a half to get to that point.
So I really try not to worry about time anymore either. Like tattooing has taught me that. It's not about money at the end of the day, and time. We're the only people. Zelda quote. We're the only ones who worry about time. I probably screwed that up. But so I'm trying to spend more time without worrying about it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
100%.
There definitely is like a trifecta of needs and like emotional well-being to be where I'm at with painting. I don't like just sitting down. I only have an hour and a half. Like there's no way I'll do anything fun. Is that me? I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
You got it?
The
flowers. That's so
flowers.
cute. So Silver
awesome.
Star Mountain hired me. They called me to do a live painting of a bear.
Okay.
And while I was doing the flowers, the flies and bees were landing on the flowers, and I couldn't finish the flowers because the bugs.
That's so funny.
Like they kept showing up, and I'm
That's
like,
so
hey, there's
funny.
no actual flowers yet, and they're still showing up. So I love that.
That's so funny. They just like love the flowers.
They're like contrast,
Yeah.
pink. Fun fact: horses and bugs see magenta on a brighter scale because it is a blossom.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's why fuchsia and like pink stands out to the bugs because they're like
Never knew that.
food, other bugs. They don't. I don't think they pollinate, but they're like predators. So they're like, we're gonna go in.
Painting is paint is a weird one because I always feel, I feel like I might be colorblind in some spots. You know what I mean?
Love
And
people like that.
I often wonder like, does everyone see
wonders too.
colors? Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
Well, what colors
do
don't?
everyone see colors? Right? Like to me, that is like a.
Like the background.
The background, I would say, is like a leaf green.
Moss green, probably.
Yeah, see, right?
Green's a really hard one. I've had moments at galleries where I'm watching someone stare for a while, and it might be a simple painting, so I'm like, what are they feeling? What are they thinking? I don't like the orange background. That's blue. Like, we found out in that moment together that they didn't see the right color, and it fascinates me because how do you see some of my things? And wow.
Right?
Like, we just figured that out together. It just blows my mind. And I know for me, I see more color than the average person, I think, with like texture. Like, I'll even make a color that I know for sure is like rusty orange, and someone will call it yellow or red, and I'm like, there's a spectrum here. This is actually in the middle. And I don't call people out all the time, but I just think that's fascinating.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm one of those people who can't see the in-between.
Yeah.
Like,
so some things might look more vivid to you, right?
Yeah, that's like
I feel contrast, it's whether it's black and gray.
I feel it's with blues.
Go after you.
Like this one, I see.
So this is where I was going. I was like, hey,
I love the blues in it, but I only see 4 different blues. And to you probably, and you probably see like 8 or 9, right?
Honestly, if I could be a color snob for a moment, there's more violets in there,
right,
than blue. But I also mixed the violet with ultramarine on canvas with that pastel yellow.
Okay.
So it catches your eye and you're like, hey, where is the actual deposit of blue? Even though the undertones of those blues are in that yellow. So
goes right over my head, right?
Science,
like, yeah, like,
me,
and that to me is like mind blowing.
Like, you probably would have loved seeing that one come together, because truly I only had the primaries mixed on palette and then went hard on canvas with secondary colors.
Because like in the mountains, I see a light blue and a dark blue, but with green.
You're on point though, because I used phthalo green.
Okay.
In the
so
background.
Is this a lot of oil mixed with acrylic, or is this?
Thank you. It is all acrylic.
Okay.
I've heard a few times that I do make acrylic look like oil, and that is something that I struggle with because I overblend and I over worry and I overwork an area. I'm great with blending, but I've really found out people love seeing that brush stroke. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't have to be a perfect gradient. It doesn't have to be the perfect blend. That's why I left these kind of chunkier strokes on the bottom. I didn't want to fixate on making the water so linear, and it was more about like flow. Mm-hmm. And my trip on the island, you know, I had 6-7 months where I just kind of was like gypsy artist girl. And I sat a lot of the time just painting the water, and it wasn't about the texture, it was about the contrast, the depths of color, without fixating on the lines. Like, you can feel those waves and the texture of water without actually illustrating them. Like, I'm guilty of wanting to illustrate too much, and that's where I was trying to play with just like simple gradient, even though there's a subject, with depth, without actually hardlining anything. And I stopped myself actually because I was going to keep going, and I was like, there's my lesson, just stop here. You can do this again. It's not like my last work of painting. Mm-hmm. You know, Sunny and Rain is my favorite. But yeah, I just trying to like take a step back as much as I'm taking steps forward. I'm really trying to just slow my game down and invest time into pieces instead of the volume, I guess.
What's been your favorite piece that you've done to this day?
Oh, geez, Money Cat, honestly.
Yeah?
I mean, there's a bunch. If you go on my Instagram and my Facebook, there's stuff online that I'm proud of, even though it was like 10, 12 years old. But Money Cat is kind of the perfect imagery of this year for me. Same concept I just shared with you. She's not done, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
This
it is
one,
super
I'm kind
stunning.
of like, I'll still give it a glaze. And thank you for being kind about it.
Oh, no worries.
The one
I just don't want to see him get. I don't want to get.
The one I will stress about is
wrecked.
the moose, maybe, actually. Just because. Thank you.
Small little drizzle outside.
You know, this one though. So
I want to know the story because you said that was one of the first ones you did, right?
it's I don't even have a name for it. I almost want to call it procrastination.
Love it.
When I was a bedroom artist, the background that you see, like the purple. Mm-hmm. Do you see purple?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yes, I do. Purple is one I love seeing. Yeah.
So I did that like in my bedroom or basement when I was 16, and I didn't tell anybody about art. And, you know, life happens and some stuff happened, and I just kind of put everything in a closet. And when I was 19, maybe 20. My boyfriend helped me move, and, you know, he looked at it and was like, did you do this? And this is without the yellow, sorry. So there's no yellow, there's no front foreground imagery.
Okay.
It was just like that fade in the back. And he just was impressed by the fade, and I was like, oh, you like that? I play with paints now and then I showed him a couple drawings I did, and he was just like more angry that I wasn't doing more of it. And bless his heart, I mean, like, he really pushed me to like, this is something you're good at, Ashley. Like, no one really said that to me before, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll do it more, like, just because he kind of loved on me. And, you know, I went from finishing that, so I finished the yellow when we moved into our apartment together, and a year later I had my first tattoo apprenticeship.
That's so cool.
So I went from I can't do that to I'm gonna do this. I remember in high school, and I brought it up to him, I used to do Sharpie tattoos for money.
Love it.
I was a little hustler. That wasn't even my first business, but, you know, that's what I did. And then I got into henna, and I did my first tattoo on him. We just bought stuff online. I don't even know where from, because we didn't have Amazon.
Yeah.
But I learned on some oranges, and I learned on him, and I did my first tattoo on myself, and it just kind of went from there. And we broke up because the tattooing apprenticeship really like caused some friction, because it's a lot of time, and I was working full time.
Yeah.
But a lot of character development, and again, like, no regrets, only lessons learned. Like, there's a lot of loss in that chapter when I started tattooing, just like friend wise and work, but it just taught me a lot, and I'm excited because that tattooing chapter for me kind of closed a while ago, and it's coming back. And yeah.
Do you find a difference between, I ask this all the time with tattoo artists, because I know that tattooing isn't drawing. There is a total different concept, but it's based off of drawing. Like,
I love how my eyes just kind of was like,
right? Because it's the transition from pen to skin. I always ask, how difficult is that?
Well, it's its own medium,
Yeah.
for sure. But it is drawing, but it is painting.
Right?
But
it's
it
such a weird,
but it is a traumatic skin event, so you can't you can't erase, and you can't really, like, it's like not forgiving like acrylic, right? You can't just hide your mistake. I like to tell myself it's color sculpture, or it's like ink sculpture. So
I like that.
I feel like if you can shade it and you can paint it with a pencil, because it's a needle, a brush helps you plan like your idea, but when you're getting fundamentally like planning your tattoo, it's definitely, think of a mechanical pencil, and then you can develop your layout, and it's still, to me, it is quite drawing, but it's painting. It's a weird, but it's tattooing.
Yeah, this is
And
what I mean,
everybody's
right?
skin is so different.
That's another
so
thing
that's
that I
where
hear.
my esthetician background really has a strength now. I know when like a skin is compromised, and I say this with love: mature, dehydrated, sun damaged, whichever it is, a combination of, or you have psoriasis. Not every canvas is the same. I've never met someone with the same skin that requires the same voltage, the same approach. So managing your analysis while you're executing bedside manner, and possibly not going where you want to go with things, like a stencil messes up. It's definitely its own art. But I would definitely say drawing is, it's fundamentals. I've met a few artists who are like, I don't draw, but I want a tattoo. I'm like, oof. Better get drawing.
That's a big wide eye right there for you, bro.
Better get drawing. I mean, tracing, a seasoned artist will trace because we know we can do it and we want to be efficient. But if you find yourself tracing and you can't do a under subject of just like basic shapes and spheres, take a step back and just focus on that before someone's skin. And maybe take an orange first too, but get a proper apprenticeship, please.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Maybe
right?
cut that one out, because I just sounded a little fed up on when I said that. Because
No,
it's true. There's a
it's,
lot of TikTok lessons going on, and people showing me what they did on their own, or they found someone. And not only does it break my heart that you didn't come chat to me, but like, I don't want to clean that up.
Yeah, and that's
half of the time.
Most of the time, most of the tattoo artists I've spoke with, that is honestly a common thing, is that do it properly. And like, if you really want to do it, get the apprenticeship.
Well, there's
Learn
online
from people,
courses
right?
now, and people will just go buy off Amazon and start. advertising, and it just kind of breaks my heart because there's a lot of people that are going to get damaged or, you know, have a piece that they're not happy with because they're trying to support you. Obviously, when I started, not everything was perfect, but it was with people that we could have a constructive conversation. I swear the birds here, when you guys aren't here, there's other stuff that goes on. And I think they know. Anyways. I even lost my train of thought. It took
tattoos. We were talking about how tattoos, how it's important to trust the person who's doing it.
Yeah, it's actually a spiritual endeavor to me. I say no to a lot of projects now. I'm just not in it for the money. Like, money and happiness comes with time and your effort. And if there's something that's not on key with like my mantra or message or where I'm aligned, I just politely can say there's someone else there for you. Subject matters can be touchy. Like, I refuse boyfriend names or, you know, things that there's a bigger lesson behind that. And there is a hex with getting someone's name tattooed on you. But tattooing is permanent. It's no joke. And it's a chapter of your life that you want to remember.
Yeah.
So feelings come and go, but memories stay forever. That might sound cheesy, but when people say, I don't know what to get, the first thing I say is something you want to achieve. Like something that like you're looking forward to or that you want. Not, I don't know, like when people get like something metal, like death or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm being very vague with this subject.
Totally, I understand what you're saying though.
But just something that you want to remember forever. I mean, it's a tattoo, and it's kind of funny because, I'll get anime. I have like a little Totoro on my leg, and like I have a lucky paw, and that means something though.
Yeah, but it means something to you, right? It's not just like, it looks cool.
It's not just frivolous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I might have a couple frivolous tattoos. Again, I got them when I was younger, and I kind of laugh at them now, but they're definitely on the cover-up list.
And that's one thing I wanted to kind of perfect segue into is you've done cover-ups. Are cover-ups a lot more difficult to try and manage when you're, because you got to take the piece into consideration that's there, and you're going to adjust it, and you got to cover it, right? And the options that you can go. Is there ever a point where you've had to be like, this piece is going to be more beneficial to cover up than the one you're asking for?
I love telling people no. In any department, if it's a healthy boundary, right? And like honoring myself, I don't want to put an unachievable goal on me that might compromise the quality and their feelings after. My first question is, how much freedom do I have? Because a lot of people sometimes want like everything in a 4x4 inch subject matter, and the most dynamic, successful tattoos are simple, larger subject matter that age well. So it kind of touches base on new age tattooing. People aren't considering the 10% rule, and I'm not going to get into it because that's something you learn into your apprenticeship. But aging well, right? So I'm always, that's in the back of my mind. It's hard to stay in touch with everyone your entire life. But cover-ups, it's really like, what is your budget? What is it? First of all, if there's a lot of black, then you better be happy with a lot of black.
Yeah.
If you have no budget for laser, and that's a fun conversation for me too, because I can tell people, I'll give them saran wrap with the areas that should be lasered, and I can work with the rest, and their mind is just like, really? And I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
Bring them this, and then at least you're not going to get gouged, and they know what the expectations are. And then it's more clear, and then you have more freedom, right? Lasering is actually quite affordable now.
That's got a
I
really
kind of did
cool
my homework
concept.
the other day, and I was like, okay, buying a laser, not achievable for me right now. Would love it. I think that'd be a great one-stop shop, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, again, having a healthy conversation with your client, having that rapport, being confident in your skill set. There's a lot of stuff that I don't even take on because I know that I'm not into it. Like a script or a paragraph on someone's arm, I just know my OCD is going to be like, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Whereas like a panther or something that has a lot of blending, I'm confident and I'll just whip that out. But there's definitely simple subject matter that you just got to watch, and cover-ups are not simple.
What, as a tattoo artist, what's your opinion on blackouts? Because that is a huge fad going on right now, especially in the music industry. Artists are completely blacking out
Can
like
I possibly
arms.
turn a little bit?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just like the sun in my eyes.
Yep.
It's interesting you brought that up because I have a few thoughts about it, and most of it's kind of a society thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if... Let me just think about my words for a second, sorry.
I have to do this all the time. You're good.
No, it just kind of blows my mind with, and I'm going to just bluntly say it, racism.
Mm-hmm.
People of color or any ethnicity have really struggled with respect and being welcomed into a community.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, again, being vague and maybe being a little hard when I say that, but when someone blacks their arm out but is racist, I don't understand.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I don't look at people with blackouts like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I just think it's a spiritual endeavor, but I've seen the people who kind of like my contradictory thought, and it always affects my lens now when I see it. And I'm not saying that they all have that mindset. But I think on the artist side of things, it's setting people up for failure.
Yeah, because how are you supposed to go about doing anything after that if your entire arm is just black?
The bio load on your body. So this is also going to bring up my favorite subject that it should be like subject of the year in my opinion. What ink does your artist use? What ink does your artist use? If they don't tell you or they're not willing to like show you the sanitary area, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
For me, because I actually have tons of allergies and I'm very sensitive and unfortunately high quality only, there's probably less than 10 brands that I would put in my body.
Okay.
And most people I ask, what brand is that? They don't know. And I'm just trying to make a point. Like, you need to know what you're putting in your body. And 100%. I've seen people share their stories of adverse reactions to heavy sessions. Like Machine Gun Kelly, for example. He got an extensive amount of black work done in less than 2 months. And he shared his journey. He was having shock. He was sick. His lymphatic system was probably very overwhelmed. You're opening your body to a lot spiritually and medically when you traumatize your body like that. And it also falls into the people who are going under and having like 4 artists work on them in one session. It's not honoring the art. You're not accepting the pain. You're not living the journey. That's all I'm going to leave it with.
Yeah, you brought up a very valid point there.
It kind of crosses into outside of art too.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're not living in the moment.
Yeah.
We're not enjoying the moment. You know, like even the funeral we had the other day with that horse. Sorry, I shouldn't even bring that up. Sorry.
You're good.
We can edit that out. But people on their phone during that moment, feel it. Allow yourself to feel it. When people ask me, where does it hurt less? Doesn't matter. It is going to hurt. And you're the worst person to ask, or I'm the worst person to ask because I tattoo myself and I don't cry.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say I'm a tough girl. I just think, you know, with your level of experience in your life with mental or physical trauma, it affects your journey with tattooing.
Yeah.
And it also is an outlet. I've had clients who have been to hell and back and they don't cry during a rib tattoo. What?
Yeah, that's
right. Like
that's
the most
mode.
sensitive girl I'm thinking of right now. She's so soft spoken. She didn't shed a tear. She just took like, you know. I'm even checking in, and
she's like, "I'm good. Keep going." Yeah, that's.
You know, and then I get a big guy,
like burly guy who can't.
I'm gonna sit for 6 hours.
An hour.
And I'm not mean. I don't charge him the half day rate because I know he's not gonna make it.
Yeah, I can imagine that that's a difficult thing to like
setting
play.
intention and dose. Your art, like it's your body, like you know your limits, know your artist.
Yep.
Be able to have that conversation. Don't rush it too, right? Like I see a lot of people, who can get me in today? Well, nobody of substance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is I think people just want to get tattoos nowadays. A lot of people just want to get them, and like for me, the biggest like no is the numbing stuff. I'm like.
Agreed.
I cannot do that.
Touches base with, like, feel it. It's a part of your journey. It also affects the artist and your skin. You know, it doesn't matter on application anymore. You're playing chemistry, but biologically. I'm a holistic girl as much as I can, and I think I put that stuff on me once just to feel it.
It's weird.
And I was not into actually working on my skin because A, I'm the client while I'm working, and B, it just felt morally wrong to me. So if people ask me about it, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to get to know artists who like using it or are comfortable using it, because it just opens a whole other door of what ifs.
Yeah.
Like your healing, your allergies. Like, I don't know that product.
Yeah,
I personally haven't even looked at the ingredients on them.
And that's I think shows that you're a solid tattoo artist, because I don't think a lot of people would.
I appreciate
Unless
that.
they're in the shops, and that's kind of
about
like what
the
their
person.
lifestyle is, right? So
Yeah.
art that's where I love speaking with artists, because everyone I've spoke with has different skill sets. Like, they're not just a painter. They've dove into music, or they do sculpting, or they do dance. And I find that art itself is such a unique and transcending thing that it doesn't matter what form you do. You're able to pick up anything you want if you're an artist. Like, if you wanted to pick up an instrument, I'm sure you'd be able to learn, because you've been able to teach yourself how to do these skills.
Probably maybe by ear. I've always wanted to do violin, but
right.
I think everyone's an artist in some form, and you just got to find your medium. It might be sand, it might be just charcoal and water. There's water-soluble pencils out there now, so you can kind of draw and paint, like lay down your pigment and then bring in a water stroke.
Okay.
I just think people need to just do it. Like, get dirty, try it, make those mistakes. I'm sure YouTube has so many artists out there who just want to paint with you. And I remember in COVID, I did online paint with me, like Bob Ross style. Like, I don't even know these people. There was people from Seattle painting with me.
That's so cool.
And there was no me telling you how to do it. It was just like, hey, these are the colors. You can dilute it like this. Try that. Have a drink, let it dry. Like, you can layer with acrylic, and it's just a journey, and you can make mistakes. I just want people to do it. Once you make a few mistakes, you're just going to run with it. Like, that's how people spiral into their crafts. Like, you just got to try. Find a friend, try a class. Don't have any friends that want to try it? Go to an art class. Like, we just need that connection now. Like I kind of told you, music and art is kind of being on the back burner, and it should really be on the forefront right now.
Yeah.
We're going through so much as society, and what's that Pablo Picasso quote? Art washes the dust of everyday life.
Love it.
And that's what I did when I was struggling. I was just like, I just need an escape. I need to do something that feels good. It was primitive. There was no words. I didn't even know I had ADHD. I just knew I needed to like keep my hands busy. But yeah, just the journey of colors. You might find colors that you didn't know you liked. You can make custom colors. Like, my favorite is just coming up with colors. Like, mute it, bright it, name it.
Has your palette changed over the years? Like, have you noticed
Absolutely.
that the colors you used to gravitate towards you don't want to use anymore?
I think the vibrancy, like, I know this is a little bright right now. I think I'm just toning down how vibrant my art is sometimes. And I don't know why. I think maybe it was too loud before. I was too loud before. I think I was very loud before. If you knew me in my 20s, thank you for sticking around.
I'm sure I could say the same thing.
I was fiery, and I still am. I just, yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said said a few times, I just want more intention and harmony in things, whether it's like life or art or an activity. But yeah, I mean, I think I just stay away from like the purples, because I did do a lot of purple skies for a while, and trying to do more pieces that, and again, it's about me now, but it's also about you. But I want pieces that are going to be a better fit for the home.
Okay.
Like, not everybody's loud and vibrant. And you can still convey messages and feelings without being like full-scale color, if that makes sense. I wish I had the black and gray horse that I did, but there's a lot of movement in that one, and it's literally just black and white.
It's such a beautiful painting.
But there's a lot of feeling there. And again, no words, no hard lines, a lot of just blend and movement, and taking a step back and just like feeling that. Even as not a horse person, I've had someone come up to me and be like, the movement, the power, like the motion. And this is somebody who's never even met a horse. And I was like, I love that you felt that and you conveyed that to me. Like you felt that piece and you're not a horse lover. Like that means so much.
Right.
Yeah.
In painting and training horses and everything, have you done a whole series based off horses, or is that the only one of the only horse pieces you've done?
So I did that one. Sorry, I'm laughing because it's so funny. One of my friends was like, how come I've never seen a horse painting? And the way she stumped me, and I just was like, oh my gosh, right? And it started the snowball of me thinking, do stuff you want to do, right? I'm a horse girl. I spent my childhood drawing horses. So that was the first horse painting I've ever done. What?
It's beautiful painting.
Thank you, but it's just the fact, right?
Yeah.
Like, once you kind of just like, what?
Wait, you've only done one
Like,
horse
you
painting?
even brought it up. No Western line, like,
Yeah.
you know. So I do have some in the mix. I have a big one that's like twice the size of these height, of two horses rearing and fighting.
Oh, okay.
But they're playing, so kind of a same touch on that other one with movement, and it's about the movement and the flow, not necessarily the subject. But with that said, kind of going back to tattooing, I have my first horse tattoo portrait booked for next month.
Oh, cool.
And I'm excited, but nervous, because as a horse person, when we see horse tattoos, we see what is not that animal. So if it's a general horse, that's fine. But when I've seen someone, hey, this is my baby from blah, 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 and I'm like, their eyes are off. Or I don't say it out loud.
Yeah, but you know.
But as a horse person, you're like, oh, like, doesn't look like him, but like, or you know, like we're just, you know, heels aren't down enough. I don't know.
Things like that, yeah.
But yeah, like I just quoting myself again, I spent my childhood drawing horses. Why am I not tattooing them?
Right.
So my bestie is like, okay, we can do a big one. I'm going to do his calf. It's huge. And I was like, what pose? I'm thinking something majestic, like iconic, like that painting. And he's like, I want her cribbing. And I just probably did the same face. I was like, excuse me. And you probably don't know what cribbing is if you're not a horse person. But it's the act of like biting a fence post. And it's not about the breathing in, it's about the bite. And it's a bad habit. A lot of people, you know, don't want their horses doing that. And his horse or our mares are very unique souls. And I say that with so much love. It made sense when he said that. Because, like, I cribbed with her one time so we could bond. And she even looked at me and was like, a human has never done this. Like, it was just so iconic. This horse, TELUS, I love you, Auntie loves you. I can't wait to tattoo this. And then if you go Google horse cribbing tattoo, there is not one.
Oh, really? Wow.
And when I tell horse people, like, this is what, they're like, really? That's like almost like a kid smoking, right? It's just so bad. Like, it's just why? And I'm like, well, it's her. It's everything she is. She's such a good horse, but that's her favorite bad habit. And I just can't believe I'm tattooing that.
That's super cool.
And it's a forgiving angle. So even if it goes a little, like, I'm not going to say it's going to go south or go bad, but I just feel like there's more play with that one in a figurative and logistical sense.
How long do you think that tattoo is going to take? Is that going to be one session?
Depends how he sits.
Right.
I'm probably going to break it down into two because I actually want to take my time with blending and
shading and everything.
the gradient. Yeah, like, again, I'm sick of time. I'm sick of the rush of time. I know the end is coming in every sense. Like, I just want to enjoy now, and I'm such good friends with him. Like, pay me later, you know. But this panther tattoo I did on myself kind of proved to me I can go outside my comfort zone. Before I did a lot of technical drawing, just like illustrative, skulls, line work, something that's like, hey, I know I'm not going to mess up, even though that's harder. But excuse me if I'm allowed to, like, just look that up there. There's like a little, just this gradient that I did on his face that I was like, okay, I can do that. I can do a fade. It doesn't have to be like solid,
and on yourself
opaque.
is not easy, right?
I mean, upside down. I think the thing that hurts the most is my back.
Probably.
Like,
hunched over.
and the older I get, like, I don't know if I'm gonna get my shins done.
Well, is that also one thing that, as a tattooer, I was speaking with Ryan Scarpino, he mentioned that tattoo artists, one thing that nobody ever really thinks about is the neck pain that they have from constantly being, and back pain, because you're constantly, the more your neck is over.
I just had sympathy pains.
Yeah, right? Like, apparently, it's like pounds of, like, extreme amount of weight on your head, and when it's over top of your shoulders.
When you're getting comfy in the moment, you turn into shrimp.
Yep.
We call it shrimping. And you're just like working, and it's hard to be like perfect, and I don't know, you gotta mold yourself to the canvas, unfortunately.
And that's where
I really have thought of putting a client in like a egg chair sling, like, so I can sit and do, like, get my back the other feeling.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that would go with people.
Right, like, tattoos is such a hard
I mean, I
one.
could try that with Ez. Just be like, hey,
Yeah, I'm gonna try this.
can we put you in this whale sling today and just see if you can relax? Like, just so I can lean back.
Right, because that's one thing that I've always wondered, is tattoo artists have this really difficult job, or it doesn't seem like it's physically demanding, but it very much is so.
I think it's more emotionally demanding.
Okay.
And that's why I've taken my time with it. I've just had so much turbulence the past 10 years. Again, I'm proud of the effort and the work that I've done, but now that I have more emotional currency to sit back and be like, okay, I have the time. I literally have so much time to just do what I want now and not usher you in this weekend, and like, let's make it an experience. Like, we're gonna go for lunch first. Like, I try and treat every person that I work with not just like a canvas. Like, I've worked in shops where they're just like, see you back there. I don't jive with that. And you're connecting with someone. So I just don't want the time burden. Right. I want like the communication. I want the honesty. Like, I tell people all the time, show me what you don't like and show me what you do like. And then at least, because you don't have words, you have pictures. And then we can find a happy medium, and it just kind of leaves less gray area out for the communication and goals. My fault is being too specific. Like, I almost, like, I actually probably am going to do it this year, but put the different line weights in my leg. So I can be like, this is a 3, this is a 5.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like, just because when people say thick line and I pull out a thick line,
and
they're
mag,
like, that's huge.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well,
9 mag.
I just need to know.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to know. Like, you can at least be custom about it. Hey, I want this little toadstool house with like a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't want you going train to other artists and being like, hey.
Right? Yeah.
It's our communication, and I want people to have an input in anything, whether it's a drawing, a sticker, a t-shirt. Like, I just started painting jean coats for people, and they give me a picture, and I'm like, hey, just how much freedom do I have with this? Do you want the actual picture, or can I tell you what I would change about it so it flows better? And usually they want to hear that.
Well, that's
just being able to
mind.
open the door of like, hey, this is what I think. Let's collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very interesting perspective, especially hearing from a tattoo artist about not willing to take just any job. And I've heard a lot about tattoo artists who have mentioned that they're not willing to take any job on, but you do see them pumping out tattoos in some shops where it's just like in, out, in, out, in, out. And
art too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm guilty of it. When I was a young artist, I was just happy to have anything.
Yeah.
But I did do some things that, I look back on it, I'm like, it would have been better if it was something that I could stand behind, or something that is my natural perspective or my natural subject.
Mm-hmm.
And just honoring what you love and what you do, whether it's art or horses, music, as long as you love it and you're confident behind what you do, you're going to find the people who love it too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beautiful part of conversation. If someone's not on the same tangent as me, it's not
right
horrible
away.
To say, hey, like, I'm not the artist for you.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have the same goals or approach. Like, just, it's nothing personal, even though it is. Like, when it comes to art, it's just like, I want you to have the best. Like, it's not about shutting it down. It's just redirecting it to how can you best achieve what you want.
I love it. I think it's a good way to think, because instead of just being willing to take the money and put the art down, you're willing to do what's best for the art.
Yeah, like,
because it's your art at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, like, I've actually said no a few times where it's like we're at a party and people know that I'm a tattoo artist, and they're like, bust out the machines, and it's like,
No.
like, because then it's just like 10, it's too much. I actually don't even really appreciate when people like say it and we're in a new group of people, because I'm just hearing everyone's ideas, but like I'm not in work mode, and I'm trying to be a normal human being and getting sucked into my opinion, and then it turns into like
Work talk.
yeah, and it's not appropriate work talk because everybody wants to be heard, and it's like I always say, book a consult.
Yeah, that's easiest to.
I'm not in the mind space. I can't take notes right now. I don't know.
If you could give an aspiring artist who's looking to start a career any advice, what do you think it would be?
I mean, go for it. Make those mistakes. Do it alone so you can build your confidence. Don't be afraid to connect with other artists. I think we live in such a modern age where it's easy to find someone else in the same subject or medium that you like that doesn't live down the road from you. Well, with that said, I do want local artists to collaborate more. Something I've really struggled with is finding someone who wants to actively do a piece with me. And I mean, I'm sure that's a whole other conversation, but being able to sit down and create with someone without your guard up is the best recipe to explore yourself. It's an endless journey. I mean, I still have so much to do and so much to go, and it just never stops. So just as long as you want to keep learning and trying, connecting, developing your style, like there's no wrong in art. It's just finding what works best for you. And if it's watercolor with sand pieces and polymer in it, that's fine. If there's fluid art people do where they're just pouring with different viscosities of paint and medium, that's pretty sciencey. That's cool. Like, it doesn't have to be real. And that's what I love about art. I actually don't want to see the real art. I don't want to see, well, I do. I paint cups and teacups, but I want to see what you're thinking, right? Like, even if it's not how you wanted it to come out, like that painting on the left, it turned out great, and it's been iconic for like 15, 20 years. So again, it's not perfectly symmetrical, but I put my favorite colors and my heart onto a page, and I was discovering myself. That's what that painting is. And that's why I've hung on to it. I've had people want to buy it. It's not technically sound. It's got a puncture on the back from moving. But, it's everything that art should be. You can see the parts where, I could have done something differently. But it literally set the foundation for moving forward. And the only other advice I have for young artists, keep everything. Don't be like me where I gave a lot of stuff away. I don't even know where half the stuff is anymore. Might be a sense of success that I have so much art everywhere, all over Western Canada. But keep as much as you can. I really do regret losing the portfolios that had like my early sketches and my brain work. Whether it was just like a storage suite that got flooded, or just like preserve your stuff, and at least you have a baseline to see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Love it. I want to thank you for your time. This has
Thank you
been
for
an
coming
absolutely
out.
incredible conversation.
Thank you for coming to
and to
my
pick your brain
home.
and dive into your artwork's amazing.
Thank you for making me talk about it.
You're welcome.
I feel like I'm not good with my words sometimes.
I think you did
I'm always
quite
just
well.
like, look at it.
What
Look
do you
at
feel?
it,
Enjoy it.
It's almost like art therapy, because I'm like, how does it make you think?
Right.
But yeah, more to come in the future, and I hope you do some art.
I've
Maybe the
been
next part of
trying.
your series, you should paint with the artist.
Maybe I will.
Like,
Maybe
you
I
try
will.
their medium.
Yeah, I'd actually might do that. That would be super
I think
fun.
that would be like, yeah.
Maybe not the glass blower we have in 2 weeks, because that's going to be a little intimidating, but
I would love to try.
I would love to try and learn how to do like other mediums of art other than just like music and
I love
graphic
welding,
design.
so I feel like glass and welding are kind of cousins.
I think anything with
random
fire.
skill set I have, but it's hot.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard
It's
one.
not forgiving.
Nope.
Right? Because like either you're getting burned or
Something's getting
shattering
burned.
it.
Yeah.
No, you should try glass blowing too now.
I think
I'm sure
I'm gonna
there's a
have to.
glass blower studio in the Okanagan. We should all just go.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Clay, but
right?
yeah, definitely try painting, even if it's just watercolor. Paint a pot.
Yeah, painting
Paint
is
your friend
soothing.
a card. Like, you know, we live in some trying times right now. Handmade things are the best.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for your time, your story again.
No, thank you for
And
coming.
if you'd like to be a guest on the show, there will be a QR code at the bottom of the screen. You can scan, it'll take you to a form to fill out, and we will be in contact with you. From everyone at TELUS Story Hive, I'm Robb O'Day, and we will see you next time.